Okay, so Yuta is going to be coming out tomorrow for Global, and he is going to be your first anniversary unit. Basically, I would like for you guys to consider him as your pre-anniversary. The actual anniversary units will be in about probably 2 weeks to a month. And, Yuta's very good. So I'm making this video. I don't usually make these types of should you summons for Global, but I do think this one is actually good. Even if I did make a summon guide, which you should still check out, I think that a more targeted one for Yuta will be important. Now, if you do actually want to kind of just pop in and maybe have me summon on your account, well, we're actually going to be doing a live stream in 10 hours. Right before Yuta goes live, 15 minutes later, we're going to have a tower drop, which I do want to make a video tomorrow on. If you want to see how Yuta performs, check out my showcase on Yuta. I'm going to link it in the description if I remember. But basically, in this video, also we're in the stream, we're also going to be doing viewer summons. So if you want me to summon on your account, go to my Discord, link in the description, DM me, and then I'll be able to summon for you when Yuta comes out at 5 a.m. EST. So in this video, we're going to cover some different talking points. So, I want to talk about the real anniversary units announced soon, literally in 10 days, kind of insane. Afterwards, we're going to talk about reruns to expect for first anniversary, for Global, and why I'm saying this is because let's say you're a new player, returning player, whatever. Well, maybe there's other units you rather instead of Yuta, and you like playing just for characters. Well, I think this is a good point to bring up. What is Yuta good for, and then should you summon on him? I'm going to bring up a couple different scenarios, and a lot of them do revolve around Sukuna. But I would say basically just to start off, should you summon? In most cases, yes, but I would wait to summon. If you're a pay to win, definitely summon. That's my overall thoughts, but let's get into this. First point, real anniversary units are going to be announced on the 16th. So this is very important, and I need to start off with this because people think that this is the only anniversary unit and that we're not getting any others and that that this is it, but this is not it. I think that, yeah, so introduction and then it shows one. So I would like for everyone to consider this as it says in the image, first wave. This is the first wave of the anniversary, which then means we could have a second, third, and probably a fourth wave. Now, that would be like last year, it would be the Zonji part, Domain Gojo, and Sukuna part, right? Which for JP is part 1, part 2, and then New Year's, or end of year, whichever one you want to consider. So that's basically the real anniversary units, and we're going to have 2 of those revealed on the 16th, and on the 21st, and then also the 29th or 30th, we're going to have them come out. So the first unit, part 1, is like it was last year, Zonji, he came out. Then on the 29th, we got Domain Gojo. So basically, in those time frames, you could expect both units to be revealed on the stream. However, keep in mind, the end of year unit is not going to be revealed. So let's say it's someone like really hype, we won't know. So just keep in mind, like no matter what, even if you wait, because keep in mind, something very important, Yuta's end date. It ends on the 11th, which means both anniversary parts will be out. This is why I want to preface with this, because you're going to be able to see both units and their kits full gameplay before Yuta leaves. So if you're able to save, then save until the 29th and then wait, or like 30th to see the testing, or wait for the 21st. And if you deem that these units are more hyped than Yuta for you to summon on and seem better, which, thing is, because they're anniversary units, they're on the same level as Yuta, or better even. And the way I would view it is that, like, out of these units, summon for, like, the one you find the most exciting for you, as, it's a game, it's supposed to be fun, and, summon for the units you like. So, on the 16th, we're going to get this. I think it's, like, 5 a.m. EST for me. I'm going to be live streaming this. We're going to break down everything we see. So I do recommend everyone, at least if you're free to play, low spender, high spender, go crazy on Yuta. But like to wait until the 16th when we get our live stream. It's going to introduce the new units. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2, what are you expecting in terms of reruns for first anniversary? So these reruns are probably going to span between November, December, January, maybe January. Well, basically, during the 1.5 ANNI, we got the first ANNI rerun. So we got Zonji rerun, then we got Domain Gojo in June, and then we also got Sukuna in July. I think it was July. We got Sukuna early July. So this is pretty much like, I guess, the end of anniversary, early July. So essentially, they bring back they rerun the anniversary units from half ANNI before, which means we're going to be getting the 1.5 ANNI units from JP. Well, same thing for Global, doesn't really matter. So we're going to be getting, let me go in game. We're going to be getting Honored one. Let me pull them up. So we're going to be getting Honored One as the first one, who if you have Choso, not needed. If you don't have Choso, could be really good, but in the new tower batch is not needed for one floor. Choso is higher value than Gojo in these new floors. So yeah, like Gojo literally cannot be used because it's only Taijutsu damage floors. So keep in mind his value is a little lower. Not Choso, I didn't mean to click on Choso. Shoko is very good. A bit weaker than Yellow Shulker for sweep, but for tower is very good, needed for some floors, and especially for tower. For early game, she should be very good. Even off color, you could probably find cases to run her because her healing in tower is actually that good, but I don't see you needing to do this. And then there's also going to be Teen Nanami. That's going to be the third rerun that we have pretty much, in my opinion, guaranteed. And Teen Nanami, which for some reason I couldn't locate, is a phenomenal unit, probably one of the best like mono units we've gotten. I just feel like he's really fun to use, works in pretty much every instance as he's a buffer, but still does good sub DPS damage and is very consistent in a bit of a Kusakabe way. So I would say that out of the three, this is like the one that you would want, probably. But once again, by the time they come, like it's more like which characters you want out of these three, like if you really like Gojo, Shulker, or Teen Nanami, right? But besides that, right, we're gonna have full info to like really get into when they rerun. Like we're going to see the anniversary units, so like you're going to be able to see, right, for Yuta. Now, what is Yuta good for? This is the third part, and I actually do think this is very important, obviously, because it's a should you summon for Yuta, and we've done 6 minutes of kind of just making sure you understand why Yuta, why not to summon on him right away. But I think it is important. I think it is very important because some people, you don't understand how many people are trigger happy. They see summon, gotta summon right away, but I feel like this time they are going to regret it. Yuta's great, right? He works on Taijutsu floors. He works for 74 and also 89. The new Taijutsu floor Yuta was very strong in. And also because of this break damage, like even if it's low, it's still a debuff that works for 89. So that's something you have to keep in mind. And then for Jujutsu, he is basically, if you guys were there for Sukuna, you know he was very universal in working on all the floors because of his bleed or his dot damage over time. Yuta works similarly, but for blue floors, because it's a locked mono meta for DPS, this guy still works on both Taijutsu and Jujutsu floors, right? Buff and debuff because of the fact he has his own state buff, and he works in sweep perfectly. He's the first blue unit that could get a 10 out of 10 DPS-wise. So Yuta is the unit that works everywhere. You will not regret summoning for Yuta, only if you really, like let's say we get, like, a unit you love for anniversary, right? Just like, maybe it's your favorite scene, 0.2 Domain Gojo, right? Something like that, Maharaga. Well, in that case, you might regret it. But besides that, you're not going to regret summoning on Yuta. It's more a case of waiting it out, seeing what's going to happen. But you're never going to go wrong with summoning on Yuta, right? That's one thing I want to make clear. His ult is super strong. You could spam it every 3 to 4 turns. His skill 3 is basically a mini ult every single turn. His buffs, his buff is really good alongside the crit res. He has a state buff that cannot be nerfed in tower, which is extremely valuable. And basically, it's mainly him getting his ult quick and all that good stuff. So it's like he never runs out of cursed energy either. So to me, Yuta is really that guy. The only problem is that, is he that guy compared to anniversary? And that's a question I can't answer, which is why I'm stressing this idea so much. But in general, Yuta is amazing. I think no one would ever dare to really question that idea. So it's very much up to you. Are you going to wait, or do you have the currency to summon right now? Because if you have, I would say, over 100k cubes, I think pulling the trigger on Yuta is not a bad idea, right? Or you could also wait out with daily pulls. That's something, if you are like a paid player, doing your freeze from the Celestial and the daily pull is what I recommend until anniversary. But like I said, 16 is the first like gate open. And let's say you're really safe with your cubes, then would be the 30th. You would wait until the 30th to summon, and then you would have a full idea of these units. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Now, should you summon on him? Now, I want to make it clear. If you're free to play with Sukuna, I do think that you don't summon on Yuta. As tough as it may sound, for now, I don't think you summon on him. Maybe in the future, if we see the anniversary units or shit, maybe. But I can't recommend you to summon on him. It's tough. It is a tough thing they've done to us because you literally okay, you could beat floor 81 without Sukuna, but you need Inumaki, so you would have to wait for the standard banner update, which should be soon. So if you could wait, then yeah, then you're fine. If you wait a bit, you're gonna be able to clear 81, and then 82 needs Choso 83. You don't need to worry too much about tower until you get them. I just don't think you should summon on Yuta specifically for 81. As time goes on, tower will get easier, your stats will get better with sweep. We should get a grade increase because of the original story, which means more stats, more levels. So overall, I think that waiting it out and using Sukuna if you're completely free to play is fine. If you're a low spender or whatnot, I do recommend doing your daily pulls on Yuta no matter what. I think it is a very smart idea. Okay, a very, very smart idea. You don't understand. This guy basically has his own multipliers for himself. And in this game like this, he has high skill damage multipliers and he has his self-buff multipliers, which those two multiply very well together. And it is very impressive what this guy could do. So if you have Sukuna, I would say as a free-to-play, right, don't summon. But if you have Sukuna, sorry, if you don't have Sukuna because you're a new player, I would say going for Yuta is worth it, in my opinion. In my opinion, I do think that he is a good unit, a very, very good unit. So, you're not going to go wrong with him because he works on every blue floor. From 61 onwards, keep in mind, some floors became Taijutsu or Jujutsu only. This guy could do really good Taijutsu and Jujutsu damage, so he works on every floor. So this guy's value long term is there. If you don't have Sukuna, must summon. If you do have Sukuna as a free to play with less than 100,000 cubes, don't summon. If you have more than 100,000 cubes, I think you could bite the bullet for Yuta. If you have pity points, even better. If you don't, maybe consider it. You could ask me on stream tomorrow because we will be streaming tomorrow at 5 a.m. EST when the banners go live. So keep that in mind, right? It's going to be very much a case of like, you are not going to be mad getting Yuta, but you might get mad in the future because the units are maybe what you wanted more. But because he's blue, he has extremely high value, but they will find ways to make it that you're going to be pissed off and like go for the other units too. That's something you have to keep in mind, right? So should you summon on him? Pay to win. And if you spend anything, especially like your daily pulls, yes. If you're free to play with Sukuna, probably not. Unless you have a lot of cubes. If you're free to play without Sukuna, definitely. And that kind of answers it, right? I would still say if you're going to summon, no matter what, just wait. Like nothing, you're not going to be hurt by that. Sure, tower's out, but like you could wait a bit. Actually, no. This game is very FOMO-inducing on global, it seems, with this, especially with the tower update. But still, I do think it would serve you better to not summon on Yuta right away. His banner is pretty good value. The rec bit on the bottom is quite good. It's not as good as like the other banners because the Kusakabe and the Jogo banner had really good memories. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Megumi's was a rerun. And now Beatles was decent, but not needed. Yuta, the new one is not bad actually, because it's good for Yuta, right? This is actually a good one for Yuta. So if you're a new player, this is good for Yuta. And even not even just for Yuta, right? 75% on the ult. What is it for non-standard? Is it 85? Because like, I know it's 85, but like in some cases, maybe you just run this if you have it and you get it duped out. It's the same stats, right? So it's like, this is actually not a bad one, especially for blue. It's definitely better than non-standard by a good bit. So it's actually quite nice to see. So yeah, I'm going to be making more videos revolving Yuta, but I do think that I've kind of displayed the three categories. Having Yuta, having Sukuna, not having Sukuna, and being paid to win. That's like the three categories you're in. And if you have a lot of cubes, I think you're fine to summon. But besides that, that's it. Let me know what you think. Are you summoning? Are you saving? Will you be in the stream tomorrow? Can I see you there? I hope I get good luck for my viewers' accounts. But besides that, I'll see you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.